Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday to you. One of the things that I am often requested to do on here, I don't do it, I really don't do it as a matter of course, because I'd rather live being transgender, third gender, than to talk about it and get on a soapbox and give my feelings, my rationale, my explanations for things. Because my opinion to things don't carry any more weight than anybody else's. But there is no denying the fact that there are many people that are interested in my story and that are fascinated by my journey and the journey of other trans men and women. And I'm going to be starting a series, probably one a week or so, maybe two a week of trans topics and things I may have covered before in my thousands of videos. But heck, there's thousands of new people on the channel here, so it's sometimes worth recycling things, especially topics that are very important. And one of them is very important to a lot of trans men and women. And that is the topic of dating and relationships. And specifically, if you are trans, do you have a responsibility to disclose to a potential partner, especially one that you intend to have sexual relations with, that you are transgender? Now, let's define things very carefully. We have pre-op trans, non-op trans, of which I'm in that category. I don't intend to have the surgery. I like to consider myself, as you know, third gender, both male and female, in predominantly female packaging. But there is a huge segment of the trans population, male to female trans population, and will go to great lengths, as did Missy Jenn, to finish and complete her surgery so that for all extents and purposes she lives and passes as female. But when it comes to relationships, we have to be very careful because, as I've said before, sometimes ego carries over into transitioning. And it's generally a pretty known fact that males can have pretty big egos relative to females. A lot of times it's kind of what makes males male, right? The swaggering and the dominance in language and things. And it's very easy, I've noticed, when you have a male to female transition, that there can be that, what would I call it, sort of an unspoken contest, or who can be the most feminine and who can be the most passable. And in my opinion, sometimes it can create real problems to the point that your life might be in danger. Now, what am I talking about? If you have that kind of pride that you've never been called out as trans and you live every day and people tell you, "Oh, I never would have thought that you were trans until you told me," like this, whatever, Nikki tutorials, "Oh, I never knew she," and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is when you take it too far and you get to a relationship with another party, and let's in this case say it's a male, and you want to have a relationship with a guy, does the guy have the right to know what he's getting into in that relationship? Because if you pride yourself, and this is how some women get physically assaulted and unfortunately killed in the trans world, because they do not disclose what their true born gender is to someone. And they might get in a situation, in a sexual situation, and then it either comes out and it's discovered because you're a pre-op, or because you go long down the path of a relationship and you've never disclosed that you were born male and now transitioned living as female. You can be on very dangerous territory because, trans females are unable to have, apart from extraordinary scientific interventions, medical interventions, they're not really capable of conceiving and carrying a child. And to a lot of men in a relationship, this will be a very important component. And if you go through a relationship and you don't disclose that, eventually you know, when they start to do the MRIs and they start to do the imaging and discover, well, doesn't have any ovaries. This isn't unusual. So you understand the path I'm going down. Is it fair to the guy? No, it's not fair to the guy. Nor is it fair to a guy in a barroom situation to even have any, in my opinion, to have any, even a hint of anything beyond a friendly hello, without, you know, this guy knowing what you're truly about. And I know I wear the fact that I'm not, you know, I don't have a voice that's going to get me, instantly, you know, known as female. But I'm saying, if you want to go to the point of covering things up and you're looking for a relationship and you go to a place like a bar or a club or something like that, and you get a little tooted up on a few drinks or a few smokes and you start to cut loose a little bit and the guy thinks you're being very friendly, the next thing you know, you might be out in the parking lot in the back of a pickup truck, and you know, he might have been drinking in the club with some of his pals and feeling real good. Man, I've scored with this chick. And goes out to the parking lot and discovers, well, you're not quite what you what he thought that you were. Well, in my opinion, you're taking away his right to gender choice and sexual preference. In my mind, you know, he thinks he's buying A, and he's really getting B. Now, this doesn't mean everybody has a right to know in the beginning. I'm just saying, if you're going to embark on a relationship, or you're going to put yourself in a situation where alcohol, drug use is involved, where judgment starts to get cloudy, and people can really lose it in a major way, especially if they feel like their ego or their manhood might be assaulted because maybe this guy gave you a big kiss and a hug and groped you a little bit in the club or the bar, and now he's got to explain to his friends when it comes out that, hey, Frankie, hey, what was it like going out with kissing the guy? You know, you understand what I'm saying? This is a very, very dangerous situation. This is why I say you don't wear a sign on you. You don't wear a T-shirt that says, hey, I'm trans, love it or leave it. But you do make it a point. Most trans women I know, they're careful where they hang out. They're careful about their relationships. They seek out their comfort zones. But sometimes some want to push the envelope. They want to see how far they can go in terms of acceptance or passability, and can get in trouble. And you really have to think about the other party when you get into a relationship too, and the way that they feel, the way that they think that they're signing on to. This is not some magic trick where we pull back the cloak. Surprise! This is what I'm really am. Everybody deserves to know truly what everybody else is, in my opinion. Sure, it's going to mean that you might not get the attention. You might have a little snickering, but you'll probably leave the bar or club with your physical being intact without being assaulted or anything like that. So it's very, very important. And for more long-term relationships, I think you absolutely owe it to a potential partner to make sure that you disclose what your born gender was. Okay? That's just my opinion. I look forward to seeing yours in the comments section down below. How do you think about it? Would you feel it wouldn't matter to you whether somebody disclosed that they were trans or not? Or would you want to know to give yourself a chance to jump off the train before you went far down the tracks? All right, everybody. Happy Friday, and thanks for watching.